Again, the quarterback calling his own number.
Ball was loose. Ball's on the ground. Looks like Trinity may have gotten it. Oh, no, they're calling him down. We had one official throw the beanbag. We had a second official come in saying that the ball was down by contact. They're going to call him down.
So it's going to be a gain of 2 on the play for the Buffaloes. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 from their own 46-yard line.
And Damon, again, Haltom's going away from what they've been doing this year. Their running back's averaging over 100 yards a game. I think he's had a carry. The quarterback, who's not been playing a ton in the backfield this year, has carried the ball almost on every possession. Interesting choices.
So same formation by the Buffaloes. There's the snap. He drops back, looks across the middle, finding his tight end, and that'll be into Trojan territory and good enough for another Buffalo first down.
Second time they've used him on a conversion, the tight end. Nice play.
A gain of 23 yards and a first down for the Buffaloes.
So 1st and 10, Buffaloes from the Trojan 32. Once again, shotgun formation. He drops back, looking down the field. The ball in and out of the receiver's hands, falling incomplete for the Buffaloes.
I'm going to have to eat a little crow. Jason's putting it right on target on some of these passes.
Yeah.
He's doing a really nice job.
Broken up on the play by the Trojans number 3, Cameron Andrews.
So the official marks the football. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 once again for the Buffaloes.
They're going quick. Trinity's not quite aligned.
Shotgun formation, quarterback calling his own number, looks to the right side, and he's hit right near, if not behind the line of scrimmage, by that tough Trojan defense.
That's Mose coming off the edge. They didn't have enough for Trinity on that side. Good tackle.
A loss of 1 back to the 33-yard line.
So it'll be a loss of 1. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 33-yard line.
Okay, they bring in their all-state defensive back, Johnny Smith-Ryder, on this one. See if they try to get him down the middle of the field.
So we've got twins to both sides, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Buffalo's dropping back, looking down to the right side. There's the pass.
Great ball.
The throw, and he's in for a Buffalo touchdown.
Really good ball. Jace Washington's on target right now.
33 yards on the reception for the score. On to extra point number 1, Hunter
So special teams comes on the field for the Buffaloes
Johnny Smith-Ryder.
for the point after attempt. Here's the snap, the hold, and the point attempt is up, and it's good. So with 5:46 remaining in the first quarter of play here at the FAC, we're all tied up at 7.
73 yards.
In each of the last contests, the last 2 years, Haltom has done a great job of answering a Trinity score with a score. That trend continues, which makes you wonder defensively. Trinity's kind of trying to sit back, make sure that they keep the quarterback in the pocket. He's throwing the ball really well. See if they make an adjustment and start bringing some pressure. Try to get the ball out of his hands where he's not back there comfortably throwing.
Right. So both teams taking the field. Special teams, Buffalo's teeing it up from their 40.
Back to receive the kick for the Trojans, number 5, Chavius Lyons. Villavicencio teeing the ball up for the Buffaloes.
Ball's teed up to come to this sideline. Let's see if that's where it really goes. That'd be kicking to Ollie if they go that deep.
A little pooch kick there, Jay.
It's a good job. Ollie caught it on the run. Get upfield.
So he's going to advance the ball up near the 30-yard line where the Trojans will take over their second possession of play here in the first half. So with 5:42 remaining in the first quarter of play,
The return is good out to the 28-yard line.
the Trojans 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
That brings up first down for the Trojans.
Trojans breaking their offensive huddle. Twins to the far side. Phony takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back. Number 2 advances the ball out near the Trojan 34-yard line before being brought down by the Buffaloes.
Credit Ellis with the tackle for the Buffaloes.
That was a counter to the quick side. That was a good job leading up in there. Ollie did a nice job of dropping his shoulder, getting a couple extra after contact.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Trojans from their own 34-yard line.
Same formation. Motion across. Looks like power. Oh, got space to run.
Phony takes a snap. He rolls to the far side. He's to the 40. He's to the 50. Still on his feet to the 40. And he'll finally be knocked out of bounds inside the Buffalo 40-yard line.
Number 16.
Okay, there's a new rule. And technically, the referee missed that. You cannot cut an offensive player. Trinity tried to sneak their fullback out into the flat on that one. The defensive player cut him at the legs. That should have been thrown. Trinity should have got an extra 15 yards at the end of that. I'm sure the officials will remind them, sure the coaches will remind the officials of that to kind of keep an eye on that.
So a nice pickup by the Trojans. They come out, twins to the near side. Phony takes a snap, hands the ball off to Gordon. He's to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and Gordon is in for a Trojan touchdown.
Number 2.
On this play, this was a good formation play by Trinity. They had twins to the quick side. They also had their fullback over here. Haltom committed one too many to this side. They ran a counter back to the strong side, and as soon as he got to second level, they didn't have enough. Well blocked, well designed play.
So the special teams take to the turf. Number 12, Bartholomew to hold. Number 67, Hernandez for the point after. It's up, and the point after is good. So with 4:36 remaining in the first quarter, the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 14-7.
Time of possession, 1 minute and 6 seconds. Covering 72 yards in 3 plays, concluding with the 38-yard run for the score.
You know, Damon, a lot of times people think of Trinity and they think of grinded out, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Right.
When Trinity has had their most success, they've had some dynamic players in the backfield, and they get a lot of what we call explosive plays. We've already seen 3 of those today in the first quarter. Those are runs over 15 yards.
Right.
When Trinity has that kind of skill in the backfield, when they can really push the ball, get into the second level and make things happen, historically, that's when they've had their most success. This is a pretty good group that is able to do that.
The ball up for the Trojans again, number 91.
Well, the Trojans once again scoring on their first 2 possessions of play. Each possession a nice run. First by Tino Phony, and then the second by Ollie Gordon.
Damon, that last one was blocked so well you could have scored.
All right, so Trojans teeing up the football. It's fielded by the Buffaloes. He comes to the near sideline, and he'll be brought down around the Buffalo 16, where the Buffaloes will take over their 3rd possession of play here in the first half.
Tackle made by the Trojans, number 13, Jacob Schaefer.
There's not many times you want to kick the ball to the deep middle man on a return, but based on the athletes they have on either side, that might be the way to go. That's what Trinity did just then. Got to stop inside the 20. That's a great job of limiting field position early.
So the Buffaloes on their 3rd possession of play. Prior to the snap, whistles and flags, indication by our officiating crew here at the FAC. Procedure penalty being charged to the Buffalo offense, so the official will mark off 5. He'll respot it. It'll be 1st and 15 from the Buffalo 11.
Trinity needs to take advantage of this. They need to get them off the field in 3.
So there's the snap by the Buffaloes and the give to the running back, and he's going to gather 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Buffaloes from their own 17-yard line.
Haven't seen much of Haltom, but you can understand why A.J. Reynolds has got so many yards. That's a good, tough run, 6-yard run up right through the interior of Trinity's defense.
2nd down for the Buffaloes.
So
Trips
twins,
to the bottom.
Yep. Trips to the near side. The quarterback calling his own number, right up the gut, advancing the ball out to the Buffalo 26-yard line. Indication by our officiating crew that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Buffalo first down.
That's got to give them a lot of confidence offensively. Have 1st and 15 inside their own 10, run 2 plays, get the first down, move the ball.
So 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes from their own 26. Buffalo's taking the snap. He drops back, looking across the middle once again for that tight end, and that pass will fall incomplete for the Buffaloes.
Tight end seems to be a favorite target. He's just a sophomore. They've got a lot of young kids. Haltom's going to be pretty formidable for the next few years.
Incompletion leaves the ball at the 26-yard line. That brings up 2nd down for the Buffaloes.
So 2nd and 10 Buffaloes from their own 26. Again, looks like we have a trips package to the far side. Single split receiver to the near. Quarterback takes the snap, calls his own number. He's to the near sideline, and he's tripped up and falling out of bounds just beyond the 30.
It's a good job by Naimose bouncing back outside, just forcing him to bounce a little bit. Cornerback recognized quickly, came up. Those Cameron Andrews came up quickly and held him to a 6-yard run. It looked like that could have been more.
So a gain of 6 on the play for the Buffaloes. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 from their own 32. Once again, we have another team that really favors a single offensive.
That was a miss. That was an opportunity for Jace Washington, the Haltom quarterback. He's out on the edge. There's nobody in front of him. He could have turned it up, easily run for a first down, had a receiver open, but sometimes you just got to make that decision to move the chains.
Yep.
I think he'll regret that one a little bit. Trinity does force him off the field, punting teams on.
So that pass falling incomplete does bring up a 4th and 4 for the Buffaloes from their own 32-yard line. 3:13 remaining here in the first quarter. The Buffaloes do punt it away. That punt's going to be fielded by the special teams. Number 15, first to the far side, then back to the near side, and then looks like he downs the ball around the Trojan 30-yard line.
Poffelli catching those punts is huge. Those balls get on the ground, they're rolling down. He probably saved at least 20 yards of field position by just fielding that punt. That's a great job. Don't think about that very often, of the importance of catching those, and something Trinity has not traditionally done well. Poffelli back there, Ashlock has a lot of confidence, really helps in field position, shortens the field for Trinity offensively.
So with 3:02 remaining in the first quarter, the Trojans on their 3rd possession of play come out. 1st and 10, Gordon, number 2, has it. And he's going to be brought down just beyond the Trojan 35-yard line. Going to be a gain of 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans from their own 37-yard line.
Trinity is using a lot of what they call down zone, which is block down and kick out, using pullers to lead through the hole. Haven't seen any of their straight power yet. But they kind of like the counter look that they've got going right now.
So again, the Trojans break the huddle. They've got trips to the far side.
They've got
formation.
Ollie's in the slot at the top.
Tino Foney calling his own number as a quarterback. He's to the 45, the 50. And tipping, toeing down the sideline, and he's finally knocked out of bounds just prior to the midfield stripe.
Foney on the carry. Ellis on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
And that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
A gain of 11 and another first down for the Trojans.
Trinity's offensive staff is doing a really good job formations to create weakness where they can attack away. That time they set Ollie out in the as a 3rd receiver in the slot to trips. Again, got Haltom to move that way and then ran a little quarterback counter back to this side.
So 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 48-yard line. Foney, again, taking the snap, calling his own number. He's bottled up near the line of scrimmage. It'll be no gain on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Trojans.
Nice job by the defensive end falling back inside on that one.
Short gain on the play. Ball just ahead of the 48-yard line. Brings up 2nd down for Trinity.
Gain of almost 1 on the play, so that's going to bring up
a long 9.
A long 9, you're right, for the Trojans. We come out twins to the far side, shotgun formation. Phony takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Gordon, calls his number, advances the ball across the midfield stripe and into Buffalo territory. Gain of 2 on the play.
That's a read play. He has the option to give that to Ollie based on what he sees the defensive end do. Defensive end widens a little bit. They did a nice job flowing from the backside of that, away from the play, getting up underneath that and making that tackle.
Right. Trojans break the huddle. We've got split receivers each way. I formation. Phony taking the snap, drops back, fakes the handoff to Gordon, looking down the field, finds his receiver, and the Trojans will advance the ball down to the Buffalo 40-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
That's a good job by Pofelli, just posting up on the sideline past the sticks as a nice ball. Tino's throwing the ball with a lot of confidence. That's really good to see as they move forward in the season.
So the Trojans here on their third possession of play. The clock at 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Phony takes the snap, hands the ball off to number 2, Gordon. He's to the far side, the 30, the 20, the 25, and he's finally going to be knocked out of bounds just prior to the 10-yard line of the Buffalo.
That's the same play they scored on earlier with Ollie. Same formation, same setup. A little bit better job by Haltom not over-committing on that one, but still, big hole, good run. May have found something they like on the defensive left.
First down for Trinity.
So with 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Buffalo 12-yard line. It's amazing. 3 possessions of play here in the first quarter, Jay. 4 first downs at this point in the game. The Trojans take the snap, hand the ball off to number 2, Gordon, and Gordon.
Oh, they mark him out at the 1. That's a pretty good job of reaching for the end zone. He must have stepped out before he got to the hash. That was enough for a first down. They're going to have 4 downs to score from the 1.
I'm looking at Ollie Gordon, number 2, down here, just kind of laying outside of the end zone. He seemed a little bit disappointed that all that effort was not rewarded by the officiating crew in a touchdown.
Yeah, Ollie plays with a lot of energy. He's a lot of fun to watch. He is a great teammate. He really enjoys playing the game. He can get a little bit emotional, but that's positive emotion. There's a flag down on the play. Those must have been after the play. Remember, unsportsmanlike, you get 2 of those and you're out of the game.
So both penalties offset. They'll mark the ball. It's going to be 1st and goal, Trojans from the Buffalo 1-yard line.
We should see their power group in right now, see if they just run a little of the Trinity power right up inside, off tackle.
So the clock ticking with 17.
Or just let Tino jump over the pile.
That's it. Number 16, Tino Phony on the quarterback keeper, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
Phony, the quarterback, in for the score for 1 yard.
So a nice way to cap our first quarter of play here, Jay.
Trinity's offense picked right back up where they were last week against Weatherford. They are really doing a good job play calling. They're throwing the ball some. They're inside. They're outside. Really using the counter well today. It's a really good game plan, it appears, to start this game.
So the special teams on the field. There's the snap. The hold by Bartholomew. The PAT is up. And Hernandez point after is up and good. So with 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play at the Fine Arts and Athletic Complex Center in Birdville Independent School District, the Trojans extending their lead 21-7 over the Buffaloes.
Just watching the body language of some of the Haltom players coming off the field. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. They really haven't slowed them down much. Some hands going to hips, and that's a good sign as we look for these next 3 quarters. A little frustration starting to show on some of these Haltom defensive players. Kind of hard to blame them.
No.
You know, Trinity's moving the ball up and down the field consistently. It looks really, really good. Probably well over 200 yards of offense already in the first quarter.
Well, thus far we have 14 total plays in the first quarter, 5 first downs. We've scored on every possession. So Once again, offensively, we are clicking, looking very good. Defensively, we've looked very nice too on two of those 3 possessions of play.
Yeah, every once in a while they threw that beautiful post for a touchdown. Every once in a while you got to pat them on the back and say nice play.
Yeah. So number 91, Kelson Cotner teeing up the football.
It's a really nice kick.
Nice kick down to the 5-yard line.
Oh, really good.
And our special team coverage excellent on that kickoff as they bring the Buffalo down inside their own 10-yard line.
That was probably a mistake on Johnny Smith Ryder. He's an outstanding football player, but he's having to backpedal on that. Remember, they could fair catch that. Guaranteed the ball on the 25. He chose not to do that. Haltom will be starting on the 9.
First down for the Buffaloes.
So this will be the 4th possession of play for the Buffaloes. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line.
2 backs in the backfield. Oh, we're going to get a face mask on this one. Trinity bails them out, lets them get back out to about the 30.
Reynolds on the carry. Check the flag on the play.
So it was originally supposed to be a gain of about 4-yard line, about 4 yards. So indication by the officiating crew that penalty will be charged to and against the Trojan defense. So the official will mark off 15 yards, which will be sufficient enough yardage for the Buffaloes to gain another 1st down.
See if Haltom lets this go ahead and run out. Should be the last play of the 1st quarter.
And they do just that. So with that whistle, indication on the turf here at the Fine Arts Athletic Complex, that will be the end of our 1st quarter here in Richland Hills, Texas, with the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 21-7.
Right now for Haltom on their sideline, it's like the tale of 2 teams. Offensively, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. They've moved the ball down the field. They've thrown the ball well. They've scored a touchdown. First downs after the first series, first downs on every series. Defensively, they're still looking for an answer to the Trinity run game, and when Trinity needs it, they've been able to throw the ball and advance the ball to get them a first down, get out of trouble. So the defensive coaches are maybe scrambling a little bit over here for Haltom, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Exactly.
Interesting for Haltom, they've gone with several different sets. They've been in a true one-back set with 4 receivers.
Right.
Most of the time when we've seen that, they've been trying to run the quarterback. In the last series prior to this one, they brought in a fullback, stayed spread. The fullback kind of took the place of the tight end and was used more as an interior blocker. Did a real nice job, and we started this series with 2 running backs in, 2 threats to run the ball along with the quarterback. So they're really mixing it up, giving Trinity's defense a lot of different looks. I think they're looking for the one that sticks, if you know what I mean.
Right. Right.
Haltom High School with the Community Helper Appreciation Award.
So a lot of festivities taking place today here at the Fine Arts and Athletic Complex with Haltom High School. We had, I believe, band recognition and senior day during our pregame activities, and now a community award for the community of Haltom.
Way to go, guys.
I asked them about their senior day. They said they've had senior days every time they've had a home game. They've spread out the different groups. You know, you don't want to have too many here at a game, so this was the band's turn, but they've done drill team and other teams at other home games throughout the season. Pretty shrewd idea.
Yeah, nice, and a great way to recognize all of your club's activities, organizations, and members, seniors. In fact, speaking of that, Jay, that end of that 1st quarter, and while we're in a TV timeout, let me do our 1st quarter senior spotlight.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, this 1st quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our state champion Trinity wrestling team, head coach Travis Clark and assistant coach Kelsey Lyons. This offensive spotlight features Malachi Pahulu, number 50, a 5'10", 252-pound left tackle. Malachi desires to attend Tyler Junior College and major in mechanical engineering. On the opposite side of the ball, our 1st quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our gymnastics team, coached by Becky Shaw and Travis Coburn. This defensive spotlight features Mina Hanna, number 74, a 6'2" 307-pound defensive lineman. And following graduation, Mina desires to attend Texas Christian University and major in medicine to be a medical doctor. So congratulations to these two athletes. And on behalf of both organizations, we wish them the very best in their season and in their future.
That's the second or third time they've tried to get the number 80, who is listed as a tight end, but they've got him split out up the seam on the post. They must have seen something on film. Trinity does have some, shall we say, hyper-aggressive safeties that like to make plays at the line of scrimmage. They may be trying to take advantage of that, see if they can get some balls over the top, stretch us vertically. Again, interior run game, not your best bet against the Trinity Trojan defense this year.
So on second down, the Buffaloes decide to hand the ball off to the interior. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and almost 15 for the Buffaloes from their own 24-yard line.
Watch your tight end up the seam.
The Buffaloes
there he
taking
goes on
snap.
the rail. Same play they threw earlier. Unfortunately for Haltom, they missed it, but they had that same play. That's twice they've brought the number 80, their tight end, back into a tight end spot, run 2 receivers through the middle of the field, ran the tight end on the rail, and that's twice Trinity didn't recognize. Don't be surprised if we see that in another third down needed situation.
So once again, the Buffaloes go 3 and out here at the Fine Arts and Athletic Complex, bringing on their special teams here on 4th and 15. So the Buffaloes punt the ball away. It's fielded by the Trojans, number 15. And he will be driven out of bounds by the Buffaloes up near the Trojan 44-yard line.
Number 1 for Haltom is a pretty good weapon, Hunter Villavicencio. He is an exceptional place kicker and really has done a nice job punting the ball today. Paffelli fielding these things is, again, fielding a punt's just like gaining a first down. I mean, it's just a cheap first down in your offense, keeps the ball up the field, huge as far as field position goes, shortens the field. See if Trinity can have some continued success. We've got trips down here to the bottom. Look for Tino going on counter to the top.
So on 1st and 10, the Trojans, number 16, Tino Phoney, calling his own number on the quarterback keeper around the far sideline. Advances the ball across the 45. Gain of 2 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 8 from the Trojan 46-yard line.
Trinity usually keeps their tailback in the backfield when they flex to trips. That's 2 different times that they've run with Tino that the fullback stayed back in the backfield. In the eye this time. Too tight.
High formation by the Trojans. There's the snap. Phoney takes the snap, hands the ball off to number 2, Gordon, over the left side of the line. Advances the ball up close to the midfield stripe. Gain of 3 on the play.
Don't be shocked if this is 2-down territory for Trinity. 2 downs to get this 5 yards. I would not be surprised at all. Just putting the pressure on Haltom's defense.
So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Trojans, and that's going to be with the ball being marked at their own 49-yard line. They break the offensive huddle. We've got twins to the near side. I formation in the backfield. Phoney takes a snap, looks down the field. Got a tight end there, Jay, wide open. He's to the 25, the 20, and he's finally going to be brought down near the Buffalo 15-yard line.
That was an outstanding formation. Trinity went tackles over. So they put their tackle to the twin side, left their tight end on the 2-man side, and then ran a little bootleg back to the tight end. Because it was the nub side or the short side with 2 men, Haltom lost him. And Xavier, we've said multiple times, is a huge threat down the field. Did a great job getting him the ball. On that play, Tino probably could have run for as far as they got throwing it. They'll come back to that.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 16-yard line. Phoney takes a snap, pitches the ball out to number 2, Gordon. He's finally wrangled out of bounds down just inside the Buffalo 10-yard line.
You know, Johnny Smith Ryder, that's somebody that Ollie scores on a lot of teams. He does a really, really good job tackling in the open field. Held him to 7. But again, that's a touchdown against a lot of teams. You really got to appreciate how that kid plays.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans from the Buffalo 9-yard line.
Trinity tried to run sweep twice early in the game and got nothing. Starting to wear them out, working side to side. Their defense is not pursuing quite as quickly as they have been.
Safoni takes the snap, hands it off once again to number 2, Gordon.
Gordon on the handoff.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Tackle made by Sanders.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and looks like a long one from here. From the Buffalo, just inside their 12-yard line.
Ball security is huge here. Had a situation last year in the game against Haltom that they put it on the ground, really gave up some momentum. Go ahead and keep ball control. Power to this side.
Gordon again taking the handoff from Foney. He's to the 5. He leaps, and he's in for another Trojan touchdown.
Number 2, Ollie Gordon on the score.
Ollie bounced that one to the outside. Not something you want to recommend all the time on the Trinity power play, but he made that look good. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns.
So with 8:38 remaining here in the first half of play, Trojans bring on their special teams for the point after. Here's the snap and the hold by number 12, Bartholomew. The point after is up.
The kick is good.
And Hernandez's point is good. So with 8:38 remaining in the first half, the Trojans continue to extend the lead over the Buffaloes 28-7.
I love this little bit of a mix of passing in there. It just keeps those defensive backs backed up just enough that you have an opportunity up inside to get the runs that you need. And again, Tino's been on point 2 weeks in a row throwing the ball. I think last week he was 6 for 7, and the one miss was a drop that just went through the hands of Ollie. I don't think he's missed one so far today. So, Tino's confidence in his throwing is back, and he is really, really doing a great job running the offense. And a lot of weapons, a lot of different places to throw the ball. Max Basiliqua on the outside has been really efficient. Pafeli, Ashlock has gotten a couple passes today in big situations. And then, of course, you got Xavier that you can get behind the defense if they forget about the tight end. Also have Joseph Luna coming out of the backfield at fullback. So he's got a lot of weapons to throw to. Done a really nice job of spreading the ball around.
So with that touchdown, we do have a TV timeout here at the complex. So let's go ahead and do one of our second quarter spotlights. This second quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our athletic training program under the leadership of our 2 outstanding athletic trainers, John Brunette and Trina Hughes. The second quarter offensive spotlight features Alex Hernandez. We just saw Alex right then on the point after attempt, number 67, a 5'6", 156-pound kicker. Following graduation, Alex desires to attend the University of Hawaii and major in medicine with his pursuit in the field of nursing. So best of luck to Alex as he continues to kick away at our extra point attempts and also within his future college career. The Trojans tee up the football. That winds up over the head of the Buffaloes and into the end zone, so that'll be a touchback for the Buffaloes. They'll bring that ball out to the 25-yard line, and that will bring about the Buffaloes' 6th possession of play here in the first half.
If I was going to the University of Hawaii, I think I might want to major in suntan.
That's it. Surfing.
Well, I don't swim real well, so I may not want to do that one.
All right, so the Buffaloes break their huddle. We've got twins to the near side, single split receiver to the far, shotgun formation. There's the snap. They hand the ball off to the running back, and he's met just beyond the line of scrimmage by that defensive front, and the whistles blow. And after a gain of 2, there's more whistles and flags fly here at the complex.
Let's see if this goes both ways. And again, Mina Hanna in the midst of that. Mina is a high-temperature athlete. He runs pretty hot most of the time. There's an offensive lineman on the Haltom offensive line that's very, very similar. Wouldn't be surprised if those were the 2 that were mixing it up just then.
So we're awaiting the call for the officials on the field of play as they conference down near the Buffalo 20. Our referee with the call.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 74, White.
So our indication is a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty being charged.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 74, White. 15 15-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
Being charged to the Trojan defense, so the officials will mark off 15 yards.
Again, that's a shame.
During the dead ball, we also have unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 71, Orange. Those penalties offset.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Offsetting penalties here at the complex. So
Again, 2 of those and you're out of the game. So Mina's really got to, we're in the
Right.
second quarter. He really needs to calm down. Take a deep breath.
Yes, lots of game yet to play.
They don't know where the spot is.
Okay, I think finally going to get that ball marked. Looks like a gain of 2 on the play for the Buffaloes. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 from their own 27-yard line.
Brings up second down.
It's getting a little bit chippy. Trinity faces that a lot. Trinity is so physical. The opponents that Trinity face have to gather up some emotion to try to match that. A lot of times it's a little bit fake as far as how they attack, and that comes out as chippiness as opposed to physical aggression.
Right. So the Buffaloes on 2nd down take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back over the left side of the line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Buffaloes from their own 34-yard line. Whistles on the turf. This will be an official timeout. We have a defensive player on the turf.
Looks like that might be Mina. Maybe an ankle the way he was moving.
Hopefully nothing too serious for the Trojan defensive lineman, but maybe a good opportunity to take a break, get checked out, kind of cool down, and maybe prepare for a return in the second half of play.
Damon, it's turned out to be a beautiful day.
They were calling, I thought it was going to be mostly cloudy, cool, and windy, but you're right, Jay. The clouds have broken. It's only partly cloudy, at least here in the North Richland Hills and HEB area. Sun's breaking through. It's made it kind of warm over here because you and I are sitting in front of this concrete banister.
Yeah, usually we're up in the press box. They kind of, have a TV game. They got us kind of stuck outside with the fans.
Right, yeah. So we're out here top row on the home side here at the complex watching this. And it is number 74, Mina Hanna, being assisted off the field by the Trojan athletic training crew. And so as we return to action, again, it will be 3rd and 2 for the Buffaloes from their own 34-yard line. Another big 3rd down here for the Trojan defense, Jay.
Yep. Haven't seen a lot from L.D. Martin on this one. Let's see if he goes and makes a play here.
So here's the snap by the Buffaloes. They've got twins to each side. The quarterback calling his own number.
Really well
on
done.
The keeper. And he's going to be brought down just shy of their 35-yard line.
That was a great job by Sateki Wolfgram. Nice inside-out tackle, really well played.
Indication by the officiating crew they will be short, so that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Buffaloes, and it looks to be their special teams coming on the field, so it looks like that they will punt the ball away once again here in the first half.
You don't think they're going to do a Dallas Cowboys try to throw for it on 4th and inches?
You asked me about Thanksgiving. I'll get to that in just a moment. Indication by our officiating crew here on the turf. Timeout being charged to the Trojan defense. So obviously the Trojans were kind of thinking maybe along the same line that you were thinking, Jay. They want to make sure they've got all their ducks in a row, so to speak, before this play to make sure that the Buffaloes don't pull some sort of Cowboy special.
Well, again,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Throwing for it on inches, yeah, that's a really good play. that offensive quarterback sneak, maybe a call.
Right.
But let's outsmart ourselves and make one of those pass calls where, 3 things can happen to them or bad.
Right.
That's what the old saying is.
Yes.
Trinity right now is probably going to be in safe punt, may not even put anybody back, probably strong on the line of scrimmage, maybe even a goal line look at the line of scrimmage to keep them from getting a fake on this. They'll be willing to give up some field position in order to get the ball back. Don't want to give fake punts or momentum changers, and they don't want to give that up right now. So a lot of conversation going with that. And a little extra conversation because the Red Hats out there on the field slowing everything down.
Well, and since we do have another TV timeout, we do have 7:25 remaining in the first half of play here at the complex, with the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 28-7. Let's do another second quarter senior spotlight. This time let's do it on the defensive side of the football. This second quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our volleyball team, coached by Mia Lange, Zuela Adam, and T. Lange. This defensive spotlight features Sifa Leota, number 33, a 6'3", 200-pound linebacker. Sifa desires to attend the University of Alabama to major in either architectural or mechanical engineering. So best of luck to Sifa, both this season and in his future. And so the Buffaloes kick the ball away, and with that punt, there's a flag on the play.
You know, you're in safe punt, you're trying to get possession back, and then you have one of those unfortunate penalties that you just don't need to have. Let them punt the ball, get the ball on the 21. They've not stopped you yet, and you run into the punter to give them a first down.
And then indication by our official is there's no flag on the play, Jay.
Well,
I don't know what happened, why it was thrown.
I know why it was thrown, and I can't believe he picked it up. That's
But
unfortunate for Haltom on that one. Trinity, a lot of times we feel like they don't get any calls. Haltom's going to be sending that one into the officials.
Number 96 blocked the receiver and blocked the defender into the kicker.
Wow, Trinity catches a break on that one. That's a huge break. Would have kept the drive alive for Haltom. Now Trinity's got a chance. Remember, magic number, Trinity needs to get up by 28 because Haltom had that 28-point fourth quarter.
Right.
So want to make sure you get enough ahead because they're explosive and they can score.
Yes. So the Trojans taking over on their fifth possession of play here in the first half. It's 1st and 10 for them from their own 21-yard line. Number 16, Tino Phony, quarterbacking, calling his own number. He's to the 30, the 35, and he's finally tripped up just beyond the 35-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
For number 16, Valentino Phony.
Tino limping a little bit. Don't like to see that.
Number 28, Jesse McGee.
Hamstring, it looks like, is what he's reaching for. I bet he doesn't run much here for a while.
First down for the Trojans.
So the officials have marked the football. That's going to be 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 36-yard line.
Trinity was unbalanced down here on the bottom.
Oh!
Quarterback puts the ball, a fullback. Oh, my goodness.
So Phony takes in the snap, hands the ball off to his fullback. That ball winds up on the turf, recovered and advanced by the Buffaloes, but there's a flag on the play.
Check the flag on the play.
See if that changes some momentum. That's the one thing Trinity needed to avoid was turnovers. Fullback just didn't secure the ball. Joseph needs to make sure that thing stays up in there tight, especially in the interior of the line. They do a lot of drills high and tight. He didn't do it on that one. Fortunately, there's a hold back here. They grabbed Ollie as he was trying to go make the tackle.
So indication by our officiating crew is a holding call against the Buffalo offense or defense on that return. So the officials will mark off the penalty from the spot of the foul. This will bring up the Buffaloes' 7th possession of play here in the first half. With 6:38 remaining on the clock, Trojans leading the Buffaloes 28-7.
Trinity's defense needs to pick up the offense right here. See if we can keep them no more than a field goal on this. Maybe get them off the field. We got trips down here at the bottom. Look maybe for a run to the top to the wide side of the field with the quarterback.
So 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 35-yard line. The quarterback taking the snap, hands it off to his running back. He's going to have a gain of 6 on the carry. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 29-yard line.
A.J. Reynolds, just a sophomore. He's had a lot of success just running it straight up in there. They might have put the ball in his hands a little bit more. Trust him.
So twins to the far side, single split receiver near, shotgun formation. Once again, they take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. It looks like a gain of 2 on the play for the Buffaloes, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 from the Trojan 27-yard line.
A gain of 2 to the 27-yard line.
So formation was the word I was trying to think of. It's probably a quarter ago. Haltom has a favorite formation, it looks like. That's twins to the far side, single split receiver here to the near, shotgun formation. They do at times do some motion as they are in motion now with their slot receiver. Take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job of turning him back on that. They did not let the back move forward. They're going to hold him to a 4th down. Now they've got to make a decision. They have a kicker that can make this field goal. They've got to decide whether they want to go try to get the touchdown, down 21, or want to kick the field goal here. Looks like they're opting for the field goal on this one.
So it does look like at this time that we have a special teams on the field. They're going to line up for a 3-point attempt. The ball is placed at the Trojan 26.
Be a 42-yard. Oh, they're going to fake it. They got Johnny Ryder in here. They're going to run him up inside. Oh, good job by Trinity using the timeout. Excellent job. That's a well-used timeout by the defensive coaching staff.
So prior to the snap, the Trojan defense calling the timeout. That'll be their second here in the first half of play.
Our wind's a little bit out of the north. As a 42-yard field goal they're going to have to attempt. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. That was a good call by Haltom to go to their fake. Just didn't get it off quite quick enough. It had a little bit too much extra motion in there to get that off. Good call by Trinity's defense to get everything reset. I believe the offense is coming back on the field, and they're going to go for it now.
So we have a 4th and 1 situation here at the complex. The Buffaloes with possession of the football at the Trojan 26-yard line.
They had the fullback in over on the away from the trips to this side. He's in what's called a sniffer position in between the guard and the tackle. Motion across, going to hand it to the running back.
So here's the snap.
Nope,
the quarterback calls his own number. He's to the 20. He's going to break to the inside, and he's down and advances the ball inside to the 10 of the Trojans.
That's a good call. They ran away from their strength. They got Trinity leaning to the motion that the fullback had, came back to the weak side, broke it down in where they're 1st and goal at the Trinity 9.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Buffalo 1st down, and with the advancement inside the 10, that's going to bring up a 1st and goal from the Trojan 9-yard line.
No tight ends, two backs and a fullback on this one.
Here's the snap. The quarterback calls his own number on the quarterback keeper. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a gain of 1 on the play. So that'll bring up a 2nd and goal for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 8-yard line.
See if they're paying attention up in the box. That's the free safety that made that play in the backfield. Might be a chance to run a little play action, get somebody in the middle of the field.
So once again, you know, we talk about this from time to time. Our offense, up until that fumble and turnover, was really clicking on every possession. Likewise, on the opposite side of the ball, our defense is really fighting here, trying to create a turnover by the Buffaloes down inside the Trojan 10. And there's the snap and the hand to the running back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Play will finally be blown dead by the officiating crew. Looks like maybe a gain of 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and goal for the Buffaloes from the Trojans 7-yard line.
Don't be surprised if Haltom tries to get on the perimeter this time. We've seen teams the last 2 weeks try to threaten Trinity's defense right up the middle on this situation, all and goal situations. See if they try to get on the edge. They got Johnny Ryder back in on the top. Maybe a pass sprint out to the top of the field, see if they can get somebody in the flat.
Keep a watch down here on this single split receiver here on the near side, number 80. They've
Sprint
gone to him several times.
Got some pressure on him. Oh, great play.
And the
great
Trojans
job.
sacked the quarterback at their 10-yard line.
LD Martin did a really nice job of getting upfield, fighting through a block. Looks like he got a little banged up on that. But turned them back. It's going to be 4th and 10 and forced the field goal. It's a really good job defensively.
So the officials calling with the official timeout. Martin down on the turf for the Trojans. It'll be a 4th and goal for the Buffaloes from just inside the Trojan 10-yard line.
They really did go with the sprint out to the top on that one, to the wide side of the field. They had 2 receivers up there. They brought in their all-state safety as the slot. Probably just a little flat and a go to the outside, trying to get the ball into the Johnny Smith Ryder's hands and let him turn up and make a play. Great job by LD Martin getting upfield quick and turning it in. They got some more inside penetration and were able to turn that one into a sack. force the field goal. We hope LD's okay on this.
So the Trojan athletic training staff on the turf tending to our downed player. And there he is. He is up, and he will be assisted off the turf by the officiating crew. Looks like he might have tweaked something in that lower extremity, maybe a knee.
Hope it's an ankle. I'd rather it be an ankle than a knee.
I understand.
I'd really rather just have a bruised calf. How's that?
That'll work. That'll work. All right, so as we return to action at the complex, the Buffaloes actually bring on their special teams. And so we have a 3-point attempt here with 3:21 remaining in the first half of play.
Kicker's pretty automatic.
Here's the snap by the Buffs, the hold, there's the kick. It's up, and it's good.
Yep.
So with 3:17 remaining in the first half of play, the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 28-10.
That's a great job by the defense, limiting that to 3 points. You hate to give up cheap points, giving them the possession on your own 35. Defense stood up on that one. That's good to see. We have plenty of time here, see if we can come back down the field and get one, knowing that we start the second half with the football. So this is a twofer. See if we can get 2 for 1 on this one. Score here and get it back to score again to start the second half.
So 3:17 remaining as the special teams take to the turf here at the Birdville ISD complex.
Remember last week, Weatherford went kind of with an onside kick in this situation after they had points. In a worse situation, a lot fewer time. Front line needs to be on their toes here. They are legal to kick the way they're aligned right now. They need to, as soon as the whistle blows, Trinity needs to be in a situation they're ready to go.
So there is the whistle. Buffaloes have teed it up at their 40.
Watch for a pooch down to about the Trinity 20. Try to drop it in front of Ollie, get the ball on the ground.
So here is the kick by the Buffaloes. It is a pooch to the near side. It is fielded by the Trojan special team, and he will down that ball.
No return on the kick. Fair catch called for by
So the Trojans will take over their 7th possession of play. Here in the first half, it will be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 25-yard line.
That's good to see. That was Joseph made that catch after a fumble. Let it go.
Smart decision with the fair catch, downing the ball. So the Trojans can take their next possession at their 25, not risking anything here within the last 3 minutes of play. Trojans break the huddle. Yeah, in I formation. Twins to the far side. They hand it off to Gordon. He's to the 30 and finally ran out of bounds up near the 35-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Tackle made by the Buffaloes number 6, Aaron Ellis.
It's a good start to the drive. Didn't use much time. Again, points of any sort on this drive are huge because Trinity gets the ball back to start the second half. No mistakes. Mistake-free drive is what you're looking for here as an offensive coach.
So 1st and 10, Trojans, I formation, Phony under center. Twins to the wide side. Again to Ollie Gordon. He's to the 45, the 50, tiptoes, and he finally loses his balance, and he's out of bounds in Buffalo territory.
That is not Tino under center. That's Cade Bartholomew. Remember I said earlier in the game I saw Tino kind of reaching for a hamstring. They may be trying to protect him a little bit. I see a flag on the play. They're going to call a hold, it looks like. Got a lot of Trinity players limping around a little bit. Must have eaten too much Thanksgiving, not quite feeling it.
Must have been. So it was a hold on the Trojan offense. So the officials will mark off 10 yards from the spot. That'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line, and they will repeat first down. As Jay pointed out, number 12, Cade Bartholomew, in the game here at the end of the first half of play, quarterbacking, giving Tino Phony a needed break. So they break the huddle, single back. Ollie Gordon, number 2, they hand the ball off, and he's to the 30. He's going to the outside, and he's finally dragged down by the 35. Another flag on the play.
They got the official on this sideline is getting an earful from the Haltom coaches, and this is about the 3rd flag he's thrown over here. Doing a good job keeping Haltom in the game.
So indication we have an official's timeout on the turf.
They're going to call unsportsmanlike on one of the Trinity linemen, I believe, or a personal foul.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 50.
So personal foul, unnecessary roughness going to be charged to the Trojan offense as the Trojan athletic training staff works on, I believe that may be number 2, Ollie Gordon over there. Jay?
Yeah. It's a great situation. Gary Maddox has a chance to come in and make some plays right here. We've seen his maturity as since he had to start that game against Prosper earlier. It's a small step down. It's not like it has been in the past. He's a really efficient runner.
So the officials mark off 15 yards for the personal foul, marking the football at the Trojan 16.
Remember when I said we needed an error-free drive?
Error-free drive.
Not so much.
Not at this point. 2:57 remaining here in the first half. Athletic training staff still working on number 2, Gordon, over near the sideline. So they'll help him up at this point and assist him off of the turf.
Good to see him walking off on his own. He's got a little bit of a limp, but no help getting him off the field. That's good. I don't expect Trinity to throw here. Cade throws a really good ball.
Right.
But at this point, you're looking to see if you can run some clock.
Right.
Force Haltom to use some timeouts. Up, and there I go.
1st and 29 for the Trojans. Cade Bartholomew drops back, looks down the middle, has a wide open man, and the ball just beyond the fingertips of the receiver, falling incomplete. Flags on the play.
It's going to be defensive holding, and what goes with that is an automatic first down. So Trinity's going to go from 1st and 29.
That is correct.
To a first down.
Our officiating crew, a defensive holding going to be charged to the Buffalo defense. So the officials will mark off the yardage.
I think it's an automatic first down if we change the rule. Yes, automatic first down. So we're starting over, back at the 26.
Okay, so we've marked the football. We're waiting on the officiating crew. Are they just marked off 10? No, yeah, okay. Hang on, they're gonna get it, the side judge. Okay, that's one of those few times that you actually see change go in reverse there, Jay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Whistles.
Clock, they weren't set. Trinity went early. Let's just redo. You're gonna have to send in a different play. I don't think we'll go back with the same one.
No, so we're gonna remark the football, make sure that the chains are set. It's going to be an automatic first down for the Trojans, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
Junior quarterback gotten a little bit excited. Just needs to settle down, see what happens.
So they break the huddle, twins to the far side, I formation. Bartholomew under center, takes the snap, hands the ball off to number 28, Maddox. He's to the 30, the 35. He cuts into the 40, cuts through the line, and he's finally tripped up just following the 45-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him down at the Trojan 48, and that will be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
That explosive burst that we've talked over and over about Gary, he showed it there. He went on a cut back against the grain. Good job by the receivers blocking downfield. He was a step away from going the distance, I think, on that one. Back to their power football. Ooh, they like to took it from him. That was close.
And then he took it right back.
Ball was bobbled.
Yes, it was. On first down, the Trojans in the I formation take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back over the left side of the line. Be a gain of about 5 on the play for the Trojans. Flag on the play.
Maybe an offsides. Can't tell. What that does is stops the clock, gives Trinity a chance to get a play in.
So here's the call by the referee. It's going
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be an illegal substitution being charged to the Buffalo defense. I guess that penalty was declined.
No, they took it, so it's first and
okay.
5.
It was a 5-yard penalty, so now it's 1st and 5 instead of 2nd and 5. The Trojans take the snap. They run the reverse. They've got some space. Number 15, I think that's Ashlock. He's down to the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
Call. Rodney Bartholomew, what a great call to pull that out right then. That's super. We were unbalanced this way. We had everything. We're in a situation with a backup quarterback, a backup running back. Haltom's thinking we're going to try to work clock. He pulls out the reverse, and there's nobody there. And great job. Profeli has shown us against LD Bell that he could run that kind of play.
Yes.
So that was excellent.
So the Trojan special teams take to the turf. Here's the snap, the hold by Bartholomew, the kick by Hernandez. The point after is up, and it's good. So with just a little over 2 minutes remaining in the first half of play here at the complex, Trojans extending their lead to 35 over Buffaloes with 10.
May have scored a little quick. We'll have to wait and see. 2 minutes for Haltom. They've got 2 timeouts. They'll have a chance to come down and get some points back and answer. For Trinity's offense, with a backup quarterback, a backup tailback, being in a situation where you were 1st and 29, to be able to overcome all of that and go score right here before half, that's really encouraging. That ought to give a huge boost, because there was an opportunity after the turnover, the 3 points by Haltom, to have your dauber down a little bit, but they did a great job of responding. Good job by Cade running the offense.
So the Trojan special team take to the turf, number 91, Kelson Cotner.
Interesting, Jace Washington has been in on the returns. They took him out on this return. Still have Johnny Smith Ryder down here on the bottom. I would say Trinity will probably kick the ball to the Trinity's left side.
So Cotner tees up the football for the Trojans. Here's the kick. Nice deep kick by the Trojans, going to bounce into the end zone of the Buffaloes. That'll be a touchback. And so the Buffaloes will start their 8th possession of play here in the first half. 1st and 10 Buffaloes from their own 25.
You can't say enough of what a kicker like Kelson Cotner gives the special teams. His ability to move the ball around, hit spots. It really forces things on the defense. Haltom's out quickly. Quarterback keeps the ball.
Washington on the carry.
So it's going to be a pickup of 3 on the play for the Buffaloes. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 from their own 28-yard line.
Junior Tuipulotu did a nice job staying home on that one. Trying to get the strength set. Got trips to the bottom. Single receiver on the top. Trips to the Haltom sideline. Single receiver to the Trinity sideline. One back set.
Shotgun formation by the Buffaloes here on 2nd down. 2nd and 7. Here's the snap. The quarterback faking the handoff to his running back. He's met near the line of scrimmage by the defensive line, who bottles him up. Gain of maybe 1 on the play for the Buffaloes. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining on the clock as it continues to tick away.
That brings up 3rd down for the Buffaloes.
Haltom's running some clock here. Doesn't want to give Trinity the ball back. I'm sure Trinity, knowing that they have possession to start the second half, is good with that. Stop right here, 4th down. Wonder if Trinity will make them punt or let it take the opportunity, maybe possibly have a bad snap if they can get a stop on 3rd down.
So no gain on that 2nd down play. It brings up a 3rd and 6. The quarterback calling his own number on the quarterback keeper, and he advances the ball out to the Buffalo's 40-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Buffalo 1st down.
Now Haltom might get a little bit aggressive. Remember, they've got an outstanding kicker in Hunter Villavicencio. So let's see if they try to get the ball down. I would say they'll give him a chance anywhere from the 30 in. They'll try to kick that field goal.
Indication by our officiating crew, timeout being charged to the Buffalo offense. With 41 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Trojans leading the Buffaloes 35-10.
Best part here, I don't see the red hat. So when the timeout's over, we can go back and play football.
That's going to be a good thing. Maybe they're going to wait their 40 seconds or so before they take any form of another TV timeout during any sort of halftime festivities here at the Fine Arts Athletic Complex. So both teams breaking their timeout. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes from their own 41-yard line.
We've got the trip set again where they've run the tight end up the rail a couple times. They've gone empty backfield. Same play, trips, tight end up the side, got some pressure. Threw downfield right to Trinity. Get down.
So the Buffalo quarterback taking the snap, rolls to the near side, looks across the middle, throws it right into the hands of the Trojan defender. And so the Trojans intercept the ball, and they will take over now on their 8th possession of play here in the first half. So with 30 seconds remaining in the first half of play, the Trojans 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
See if Trinity takes a knee right here, or if they stay aggressive. I wouldn't be shocked if they throw the screen. We've seen Trinity drop a screen to the running back for big yards in several games this year. It's a good situation to try that. Although Cade can throw the ball downfield quite well, or they may just take a knee. We'll see which way it goes.
Trojans break the huddle. They're in the I formation. Bartholomew taking the snap, rolling to the near side, dumps it off to his fullback. It's in and out of the hands, just a little behind the fullback, falling incomplete for the Trojans. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
Tough throw for a quarterback, right-handed quarterback rolling left. Cade just needs to get his shoulders upfield just a little bit, running at his target a little bit more, not throwing across his body. I like the aggression. I like what Trinity's trying to do, see if they can go get one more. Remember, Trinity's got a really good kicker too.
Yes.
So if they can get about 30 yards here, get down to about the 30, I think they can also take a shot.
So 26 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Again, I formation. Twins to the far side. Bartholomew takes the snap. He hands it off to Maddox, number 28, who's to the 45. And then he'll finally be brought down just prior to the midfield stripe.
Number 28, Gary Maddox.
I think they're going to let it go.
Number 10, Peter Wynn.
So 3rd and 2 for the Trojans from their own 47-yard line. They break the huddle quick with 5 seconds. Here's the snap. Bartholomew's faking the handoff. He's rolling to the near sideline. He's looking down the field. He launches the ball. It's down the sideline, but it will fly out of bounds, and that will be the end of our first half of play here at Birdville ISD and their Fine Arts and Athletic Complex, with the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 35-10.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's a good first half.
I invite you to sit back and enjoy our halftime entertainment.
So we will go to halftime here in North Richland Hills, and we will be back in approximately 15 minutes, hopefully with some first half stats and some other information regarding the upcoming week at a glance as it pertains to Trinity High School and our Trinity sports teams.
Oh, that's you. Sorry.
Well, hello, football fans, and welcome back to North Richland Hills in the Birdville ISD, the Fine Arts and Athletic Complex, where the Trojans lead the Buffaloes 35-10. We're just under 8 minutes here remaining in the half, and as we do so, we want to do a few things for you. One of those, we don't have any statistics regarding weeks in a review regarding our sports teams. We've had some playing here during the Thanksgiving holidays. I think it's primarily been basketball. We will look at some of our Trinity sports teams and some of their events that will be up and coming next week, and we'll get to that here in just a minute or two. But we want to take this opportunity to kind of go back for those of you who might now just be clicking on and catching up with Trinity Trojan football, just kind of give you a rundown and a review for our first half. So for that, I'm going to turn over the first half stats to our color commentary man, Mr. Jay Fitch.
These stats are coming from the Dallas Morning News. We want to thank them for sharing with us. If you look at the numbers right now, Trinity's having a pretty good offensive game. First downs, Trinity has 13 to Haltom's 7. Total yards, Trinity has 393 total yards in the first half to Haltom's 152. That 152 is pretty significant. I can't remember the last time Trinity's given up 300, so Haltom is actually moving the football some. Pass yards, Trinity has 64 to Haltom's 71. Haltom does have one touchdown pass. As far as rushing yards, Trinity has 329 yards on 25 carries. That's a 13.16 yard per carry average. And Haltom has 81 yards on 25 carries. That's a 2.4 yard per carry average. Some individual stats for Trinity. Tino Foney is 3 for 3 passing the football for 64 yards. Rushing wise, Tino is leading us rushing with 8 carries for 134 yards. Ollie Gordon has 13 carries for 115 yards. We had 1 carry on the reverse from Pofeli Ashlock for 47 yards and a touchdown. And Gary Maddox has come in and done a really nice job on his 2 carries for 30 yards. Overall, each team has had 1 turnover. And as we look to the second half, right now that 35-10 lead, that 25-point lead, that's a 4-possession lead. And how many total possessions did each team have that first half?
In the first half, I have the Trojans with 8 possessions. Well, each team actually with 8 possessions. And of course, as we've highlighted along the way, some of the more significant aspects of those possessions is, let's see, the first 4 possessions that the Trojans had, they scored on every one. That was followed by a fumble, and then of course the 5th touchdown within there. Then we ran the clock out on the 8th possession to go into half. And then for the Buffaloes as well had 8 possessions, but 4 of those 8 were punts. 1 was a touchdown, and 1 was a field goal.
1 interception.
And 1 interception, that's correct.
And the significance of the 35-10 lead, that 25-point lead, that's 4 possessions. And when there's only 8 possessions in a half, that forces Haltom to really get some stops and really puts the onus on them to go and score every time they have the ball. Now, again, they did have a 28-point come from behind victory last week against Boswell. Trinity is not quite Boswell defensively, so we feel a little bit good about that. We'll be interested to see about the injuries and who's coming out in the second half to play. Don't be surprised if the lead holds, if they keep Ollie and Tino kind of on the side and use as necessary. They're getting a lot out of Gary Maddox, and Cade Bartholomew, when he came into the second half, did a really nice job running the team.
Well, right now we have both Tino Foney and Ollie Gordon making their way, along with the other Trojans, from the locker room to their respected sidelines. I don't see anyone on crutches or in a wheelchair, so that's good. That's a good word for the Trojans as we get ready to kick off the second half.
That's always a positive. You know, those wheelchair guys, they have a hard time getting out there.
That's it. So we look toward our sports events and our teams that will be in action this next week following our Thanksgiving break. And I have here, I'm showing that we're going to tee it up and tee off with our varsity boys and varsity girls golf teams over in Frisco at the Frisco Liberty Tournament. That will tee off at Canyon Creek Country Club, weather permitting. There could be anything from wet turf to possible frost. And so we'll just kind of have to wait and see what takes place and what happens. But good luck to our golf teams next week. And then in basketball action, our girls JV will be at Eaton High School. And our boys will host Coppell in the auxiliary gym, our JVs. And then our varsity teams, the girls varsity will be at Eaton. And these games will be Tuesday afternoon and evening, if you'd like to catch those games. And then our boys basketball will be at home, where the boys will host Colleyville Heritage. Both of those are on the 2nd, 5:30 and 7 p.m. tip-off times. And then if you're looking for more football action, this is another short week, Jay. We got the JV, I believe, playing on Wednesday this week, and they will be playing Pascal at the field at Pascal High School. And then, of course, our game next week with our varsity will be back on our home turf at Pennington Field, and that will be Thursday evening, I believe, at 7 o'clock kickoff. Then on Friday, if you're looking for additional basketball action, our girls will travel to Kennedale High School, where they will tip off against the Wildcats of Kennedale. And then our boys will be in action in the Trinity main gym versus South Lake Carroll. And that will be on, I believe, Friday the 4th. So the up and coming action as I see it here on the calendar. So best of luck to all of our sports teams and their upcoming events.
Damon, as we look around the district at this and the significance of this game, obviously it's a district championship. It's always great to be district champions. But this will, right now, determine on the number 1 seed Division I team versus the number 2 seed Division I team. And what that looks like from a district, we're partnered up with the South Lake Keller district. So the second place team will get to open with South Lake, stake rank. The first place team will play Keller Timber Creek. It looks like at this point there is an outside chance that you could play Northwest Eaton.
Right.
But avoiding South Lake in the first round is a nice reward for winning this football game.
Yes.
Now, interestingly, in our district, Weatherford is in, but the 4th place team, only 2 teams have been officially eliminated, and that would be Chisholm Trail and Boswell. Both of those teams are out. The other teams all have an opportunity based on outcomes of the upcoming games. So it will be an interesting week to see who is the 4th team making it into playoffs.
And that 4th team, of course, could possibly be our sister school in the district, the LD Bell Blue Raiders, depending on win, loss, and the outcome of the upcoming games.
Right. It was a real disappointing loss for them last week against Pascal. They really kind of had their destiny in their own hands. Now they're going to be counting on some other teams. But the percentage-wise favorite would be North Crowley, although North Crowley does have 2 games coming up, one with Weatherford, one with Haltom, that are both games. They need to at least win one of them. If they do, they're in.
Right.
If they lose out, that gives Bell the opportunity, since they did win head-to-head against North Crowley. And, of course, Pascal, who we play next week, is also in the mix. So it'll be real interesting coming down to the last week to see who that 4th team in is.
All right, so as we return to our field of competition, both teams have made their way to their respective sidelines. The Trojans heading out for kickoff return special teams as they won the toss, deferring in the first half and choosing to receive the ball here in the second half of play. So We have all of our extracurricular activity being pulled from either the end zone or exiting the sideline at this time, and now the Buffaloes will.
And as we talked earlier about number of possessions, they're 4 possessions behind. They need to score 4 times without Trinity scoring. There are a limited number of possessions in the second half. Trinity doesn't usually allow a lot of possessions, so you have to watch for Haltom to try to steal a possession, whether it be an onside kick, fake punt, going for it on a 4th down, trying to keep the possession. Obviously, ball security becomes a big issue for Trinity. Make sure they keep the ball, finish each drive with the kick. We'll see how this goes.
So the Buffaloes tee up the ball. The kick is up and it's away. It's a long drive, and that will bounce in and out of the Trojan end zone. And so that will be a touchback for the Trojans here to start the second half of play.
It's good to see Ollie Gordon back deep on that, and he's staying in the huddle for the offensive first possession, and I see Tino coming in to run the offense to start the second half. That's good to see.
So the Trojans take over their first possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10. Trojans from their own 25-yard line.
Start with the counter. This play's been real successful for them.
And he pitches it to number 2, Ollie Gordon, and Gordon advances the ball out to the far sideline. Finally ran out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Gain of 15 on the play.
It's going to be hard pressed for Trinity to keep up that 13 yards of carry thing.
I'm telling you.
15 on the play. First down for the Trojans.
So another first down for the Trojans. Be 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. They break the offensive huddle, I formation, twins to the near side. Number 16, Tino Phoney at quarterback, hands the ball off to his running back, number 2, Ollie Gordon. Gordon makes a cut. He's down to the 45, to the 40, and he's finally jerked out of bounds by the defensive back down near the Buffalo 35-yard line.
Again, that's Johnny Smith Ryder for Haltom making a play in the open field. He's really difficult to go score on, but Ollie made a nice cut, kept him away, stayed up the sideline. Now, here's where offensive coaches and Coach Jensen's going to be a little bit disappointed. You know, you're looking for perfection. You're up. You've run 2 plays in a row. You've run out of bounds both plays. He'd probably rather the clock keep running.
Right. And 2 plays, 2 first downs. So we have 1st and 10 Trojans from the Buffalo 36-yard line.
Trinity was unbalanced to the top. Got a good cut up inside on the pitch.
Tino Phoney takes a snap, pitches it out to number 2, Gordon. Gordon advances the ball up near the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play for the Trojans as the officials mark the football. So we'll have 2nd and 5 from the Buffalo 31.
Those toss sweeps to the outside, they're not always as successful as you want them to be, but they're purpose plays. It forces the defensive interior to run side to side on the field. It wears them out a little bit. It opens up the power game later. Looks like everybody's coming. Haltom brought everybody on that one. They ran the trap, kind of clogged it up a little bit. Joseph Luna kept possession, gained 2 in a situation it didn't look like he was going to get any, and leaves us 3rd and 3.
So the Trojans on their first possession here in the second half have a 3rd and 3 at the Buffalo 29-yard line. The offense breaking the huddle. We've got twins to the near side, single back. Tino Phoney under center, takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back, and he's hit near the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
That was not a very good spot on that one.
Loss of 4 on the play for the Trojans.
Contact came at loss of 1, and they drove him back, and the spot was where they drove him to. See if a little play action pass on this one. Try to get Tino out on the edge with the run pass option. See, the only question will be if they run it out of the counter or if they run it out of the straight power play.
So 4th and 7 for the Trojans. Phoney under center, taking the snap.
Ooh,
hands the ball off to his running back.
Oh,
he's to the 30. He's got to break to the 25, the 20. He's down to the 15, and he's finally drugged out of bounds by the Buffaloes down at the Buffalo 13-yard line.
They've got Gary Maddox into the backfield. That was a nice run. He was on the previous carry. A lot of confidence in your offensive line on a 4th and 7 to run counter right at them, right at their strength. Great job on the pull. Good job leading up on the second puller. I believe that was a tight end, Xavier Kautai. So that was a nice job, and that's deflating for a defense.
Yes.
You know, if they run to the outside or throw a pass and they get it, that's one thing. To line up and run over you to get 7, that's a totally different animal.
And on 4th down.
Correct.
So 1st and 10, Trojans from the Buffalo 13, under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Gordon. He's to the 5, and
Good
he's in
patience.
for a Trojan touchdown.
That was so well blocked. Good patience on that one by Ollie, but there was nobody that touched him. It was trafficky up in there, but he was patient with the run, untouched into the end zone. Great job by the offensive line.
4th and 13 yards on the score.
So on first possession, the Trojans 7 plays in for a touchdown. Special teams comes on for the point after to hold number 12, Cade Bartholomew. On the attempt, number 67, Alex Hernandez. His point after is up, and it's good. So with 9:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, the Trojans extending their lead over the Buffaloes 42-10.
You know, we talked about this last week. You come out of the second half, you have a big lead, you feel like you're in control of the game, and you want to be sharp to start the second half. You don't want any sloppiness. You don't want any penalties. You definitely don't want any turnovers. And Trinity just put together a classic Trinity drive, several explosive plays, some power plays when they needed it, converted a 4th down with their sophomore running back on a play that just kind of shocked all of us. That was an outstanding first drive. And again, it goes to show with where Trinity is offensively this year as far as their confidence and their ability to execute.
Yes. So on 2 minutes and 51 seconds, the Trojans go 75 yards for their first score here in the second half on second play, 7 plays. So the Buffaloes special teams take the field and kick return formation.
Red Hat's still out there. Did you say 7 plays, 75 yards?
I did. 7 plays, 75 yards.
They are killing our average rush.
Yes, they just went down just a little bit.
Went down a little bit. Only had 10 yards to carry on that series.
Only 10. So, again, if you're looking for a second place to view this game and you're just joining us here in the second half, you can also view the game on Channel 33, a local station here within the Metroplex area.
They're not as good as us.
I've been told that. Our producer tells me that quite frequently, and I will not say otherwise. So the Trojans take to the turf. We teeing up the ball. Number 91, our kicker.
Really good spot over on this left side. I don't think we're going to take advantage, but you go over on the left side near the Haltom bench.
Kelson Cotner, he's got the little pooch going.
Lesson learned. Backed up, caught it on the 17 with good coverage, took the fair catch, going to start on the 25. Remember earlier in the game, Johnny Smith Ryder caught one back and tried to run it back. I think he was stopped on about the 14.
Right.
So that was a much smarter decision by the Haltom return team.
So the Buffaloes take over on their first possession of play. Twins to the near side.
Still have their fullback in to lead. Really kind of indicative of a run game. Let's see if they let their sophomore run some. He had a pretty good first half.
So the Buffs take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. It's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 from their own 28-yard line. Again, the Buffs quarterback calls his number. Is met near the line of scrimmage, gain of maybe 1 on the play by the Buffaloes. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 from their own 29.
Trinity has a similar play to that where it's a read. I couldn't tell if the quarterback was reading that or if that was a called play. If it was a read, he missed it. He should have handed it to the back around the corner. May have been a call because Jace Washington is not a typical quarterback all the time.
So 3rd and 6 for the Buffs. They snap the ball. They're looking on the swing pass. The Trojans there to defend. It'll be a gain of maybe 2 on the play for the Buffaloes. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 4 for the Buffaloes from their own 31.
Once again, great series by the defense to start the second half. On that one, they covered the receivers downfield. They made him go to the check down, rallied to it, kept him short of the first down. That's a nice job.
So the Buffs on to punt the ball away here early in the second half. 4th and 4 from their own 31. Trinity with a single returner back down near their 35-yard line. Here's the snap. And the Buffs do punt the
Good
ball
punt.
away.
Really good punt.
Good punt. That ball is going to take a Trojan bounce, actually bounce in and out of the back of the end zone.
That was a 69-yard punt. That's pretty good.
That was a good leg. Good leg. And so the Trojans will take over their second possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 25-yard line.
Got in a different quarterback this time. It looks like Jaquan Black is taking the snap out of the gun, running the read play. Jaquan's a big boy. He is a long body. He's listed at 6'3", 211 pounds.
And so the Trojans are going to pick up 8 on that play. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and long 2 for the Trojans from just shy of their 28-yard line.
Brings up 2nd down.
See if we get a counter on this one.
So the Trojan quarterback taking the snap on a read play, calls his own number, advances the ball across the 35 up to the 36-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
The only concern you have on this is ball security because Jaquan's not had a lot of snaps. The only way Haltom's going to get back in this game is to get a short field based on some turnovers. So that's the major concern. But he's running the ball well. 2 carries, 16 yards. That's pretty nice.
So the Trojans break the huddle again. They've got twins to the far side, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Again, the read. Quarterback keeps the ball. He's to the 40. He's to the near side, up across midfield stripe, and he's finally bounced out of bounds. And a flag, post play.
I don't know if that's going to be on. I don't know what that's going to be. That was a great block in the hole by Joseph Luna. We talk about pancakes on the offensive line.
Yes.
He got one of his own that time.
So here's the call coming from our officiating crew.
Dead ball. Face mask. Number 7, White.
Okay, that's a dead ball foul. I couldn't tell. Jaquan on his stiff arm looks like he got his hand up in the face. I thought that might be the call. I didn't want to say it too early. Been wrong a lot today. Hate when that happens. But since that was dead ball, it should be a first down after the run for Trinity.
So the official marks off 15 yards for the personal foul call.
Let's see if they get this right over here on the sideline. It should be first down, Trinity, dead ball, 1st and 10.
So we're waiting on the chain crew and the official on the far side. We've got some communication going.
And they got it right.
They did get it right. Okay, the chains are on the move. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 43-yard line.
First down for the Trojans.
Tino's back in. Go back to the pitch.
So Phoney takes a snap, pitches it off to number 2, Ollie Gordon. He's across midfield stripe. He's down to the 40, the 30. He's on the near sideline. He's outrunning the 20, the 10, and he will go in for another Trojan touchdown.
That was a great cut. He had everybody running. He came back, kind of turned it up underneath the kick-out block, and took it to the end zone. Showed some speed. Outran 2 angles, just ran by him. That's really good. Remember, he went off the field with a lower body injury, so obviously not hurting him right now.
So the Trojan special team comes on again. We're getting plenty of reps right here in both last week and this week's game. There's the snap. Bartholomew with the hold. The kick is up, and it's good. So with 6:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, the Trojans over the Buffaloes, 49-10. That last possession, Jay, second possession of the second half, 4 plays. 4 plays for that touchdown.
80 yards, wasn't it?
80 yards.
Helped their average.
Yes.
We're back up. That's good.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now this is a situation, the last 2 years, it was very frustrating for Trinity to lose to Haltom. I'm wondering how much frustration they're going to take out with the opportunity right now. 49-10, haven't been slowed down offensively. The defense is playing well. we'll see how long the ones stay in. It gets to be a little bit iffy. I wouldn't be shocked if the chain gang, that second group we talked about, starts getting some reps pretty quickly. Keep everybody healthy. Remember, both Tino and Ollie came out of the game earlier with some lower body injuries. Might give them a rest for the rest of the game, get ready for Paschal. Short week, as you said.
Short week. So we have a TV timeout going on before we commence to our competition here at the field of play. So let's do our third quarter offensive senior spotlight. This spotlight is sponsored by our golf team, coached by Coach Barry Fuller. This offensive spotlight features Brandon McCullough, number 68, a 6'6", 285-pound offensive lineman. Brandon's plans following graduation, he desires to attend Texas A&M University to major in civil engineering. So on behalf of the golf team and Coach Barry Fuller, we send best wishes to Brandon McCullough for the continuation of a successful season and success with his career in his future. So we return to the field of play. Both teams with their special teams on the field. Number 91, Kelson Cotner, with a pooch kick. That's going to be downed at the 10 by the Buffaloes. That ball will be brought out to the Buffalo 25-yard line, where they will take over their second possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10, Buffaloes from their own 25.
I see a couple of backups coming in for Trinity. The way this year has been, it doesn't really matter. The twos have gotten a lot of reps. They've been able to rotate a lot of kids, so there's not much of a letdown when this second group comes in defensively for sure.
So 1st and 10, the Buffs snap the ball, hand it off to their running back. He advances the ball up near the 30-yard line. Based on the spot, looks like it'll be a gain of 4 on the play for the Buffs. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from their own. Whoa. Whistle and flags post play here. Gain of 5 on the play.
That was interesting. That came from the side. Referee wasn't anywhere near the action. That was kind of a curious throw, the official that threw the flag.
So here's the call by our referee.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 6, White. Also, dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 20, Orange. Now offset. Resulting play stands. First down.
It's three different times they've done that today. But if they're trying to get the chippiness to go away, that serves no purpose.
No, because the offsetting penalty, so therefore no one is actually penalized because each rules the other out. And so we just take a little bit more time off of the wrist clock, not the game clock.
Right.
So Haltom breaks the offensive huddle. Looks like we've got a trip set to the near side, single back shotgun formation. As you referred to, that sniffer there between the guard and tackle, and that's where they hand off to the running back and he runs the ball right in behind that lead block. Gain of 7 on the play. That's going to be another first down for the Haltom Buffaloes.
That's another sophomore running back that they've brought in. That's his second carry of the game.
Official timeout on the field.
They've got some really good young talent.
So an official timeout here at the complex with 5:36 remaining in the third quarter of play, as we have a Haltom Buffalo injured on the play, and so their athletic training staff will come out and take a look. So while they're doing that, let's look at our third quarter defensive senior spotlight this quarter. It's sponsored by our swim team. It's coached by Coach Rich Campanero. This defensive spotlight features Dylan Pepper, number 66, a 5'9", 169-pound linebacker. When asked following his plans following graduation, Dylan stated that he desires to attend Texas A&M University to major in mechanical engineering and to pursue engineering in the corporate world. So best of luck to Dylan in both the continuation of this season and his future. So as we return to action, the Buffaloes on first down take the snap, fake the handoff. The quarterback calls his own number. Looks like a gain of 1 on the play for the Buffs as he continues to hit, even with our second team, a very strong defensive front line.
You know, I advised Dylan to become a doctor. I thought that would be really appropriate. Obviously, he turned me down.
Yeah. I am always impressed when talking and interviewing our kids about their dreams and their plans following graduation. So many of them.
I thought Dr. Pepper would just been great for him, though.
So on second down, it's second and a long 8 for the Buffs, and we're going to have the quarterback calling his own number and brought down after a gain of about 2 as he advances the ball just across the 40-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Buffaloes from just beyond their 40-yard line.
This second group that Trinity brings in, they just go get them. They play go get them defense. They got great pressure, forced the quarterback, Jace Washington, to bring the ball down and run, but they are some go-getters. If you remember in the Bell game, they had 2 consecutive sacks. I thought they had a safety on one of them, but it was a little bit early. But they are doing a really nice job. Here they come again.
So the Buffs,
the
Buffaloes,
wow.
I think that's an uncatchable ball there, Jay, but I don't think we're going to get that call.
That is the sideline official on
home side.
Yep.
So the Buffaloes come out there on 3rd down. Shotgun formation, trips to this near side. They roll this near side. They throw what looked to be an uncatchable ball. Flags on the play. Here's the ruling by the officiating crew. So the ruling is defensive pass interference being charged to the Trojan defense. So the official will mark off the football, will mark it beyond the midfield stripe, and that be sufficient enough yardage for another Buffalo 1st down. Again, the Buffaloes in shotgun formation take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back over the right side of the line. He cuts back, finally wrapped up by that Trojan defense, brought down near the Trojan 45-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 45.
That tackle was from Richard Reyes. He's a backup inside linebacker, junior. He makes a lot of plays when he's in the game. Again, the depth that they have at linebacker, their abilities inside, it's really pretty good.
So the Buffaloes, with the trips formation to the wide side, takes the snap. The quarterback calling his own number, finds a hole over the right side of that line, advances the ball down to the Trojan 35, and picks up another Buffalo 1st down.
That was a good play call, a fortunate play call for Haltom. Trinity brought a blitz on the inside. They picked him up, and there was nobody there second level to stop the quarterback.
So 1st and 10 Buffaloes from the Trojan 35. Quarterback taking the snap, drops back, looks across the middle, finds his receiver, and then he's immediately brought down by the Trojan defensive backfield.
Again, that was Reyes on the tackle. Johnny Smith Ryder on the catch.
So 1st and 10 Buffaloes from the Trojan 20-yard line. Again, the quarterback taking the snap in shotgun formation, hands it off to the running back, and he's finally wrapped up by that defensive front and brought down by the Trojan defense. Looks like a gain of 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Buffs from the Trojan 19.
This is using up a lot of time for Haltom.
So again, we've got twins both ways. Shotgun formation by the Buffs. 2:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
See if they try to get a ball to number 1 down here on the bottom.
Here's the snap. The quarterback takes a drop step. He's looking down the field. He's under pressure. He looks, and it's picked off by the Trojans.
What a catch. Good job. That was Eddie McGee on that. Eddie McGee coming in at cornerback this series. That ball, that was a nice catch. That was over his head. He fully extended. Eddie's not way tall. Got that thing at the peak of his jump. Great play.
So the ball goes over on the turnover, on the interception. Great play, great plays, great possessions by the Trojan defense as well. We talk a lot offensively about our offensive play and possession, but our defense is getting the job done along with our offense on both sides of the ball. So Trojans take possession. This will be their 3rd possession of play. Here in the second half, it'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 3-yard line.
Looks like the chain gang may be in, or at least portions of it. Gary Maddox getting the ball.
So quarterbacking for the Trojans, number 12, Cade Bartholomew takes the snap, hands it off to Maddox as running back. Looks like a gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from their own 5-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised for the rest of the game if Trinity is in what they call their 4-minute offense, running the clock down as long as they can, probably trying to snap the ball with about 5 seconds, just trying to kind of get out of here, get on to the preparation for next week's game. No hurry. Cade's coach's kid, he understands this perfectly. They come to the line with 10, snapped it at 9.
So again, the quarterback takes a snap, hands it off to number 28, Gary Maddox, and he's making a cut first to the inside, then to the outside, finally brought down, and a flag on the play.
Holding. Number 85, White.
So a hold call to the Trojan offense, so that will back the ball up half the distance to the goal, which should respot the ball back down just inside, I believe, the Trojan 3. It'll be repeat 2nd down.
The results of the penalty put the ball near the 3-yard line. Brings up 2nd down for Trinity.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle, I formation, twins to the far side. Bartholomew under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to the back, rolls to the far side, looks, finds his receiver.
That's a great catch by Max Basiliqua. That ball was thrown the only place it could have been caught. Great extension by Max. Great ball by Cade. Not afraid to throw with him and convert the 1st down, throwing out of their own end zone. Well done.
Great job by the Trojans, and on that play, picking up enough yardage for yet another Trojan 1st down.
I like the aggressiveness of the offense, not just happy that they're up 39 and just going to grind it out. They're still working on things,
right.
Still throwing the ball some. That's really good.
So 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 17. They take the snap, they hand the ball off to the back, and he advances the ball up just almost out to the 30-yard line before being brought down.
I think they brought in Jaquan Black as the quarterback, and he kept it on that one. Obviously, he's the running backup, and Cade may be the throwing backup. Cade's kind of spindly. I don't know that we want to run him up in there very much, although it would shock him.
So again, the Trojans with sufficient enough yardage for yet another Trojan 1st down. They break their offensive huddle, twins to the near side this time. The ball winds up on the turf, but it's recovered by the Trojans.
Can't tell if we have another center in right now or if we still have the starter in. Okay, and this sounds kind of crazy. It's probably detrimental to Cade that the starter is still in at center. When they get their snaps during the week, he usually takes snaps from the number 2. So it's a totally different fit up in there. So that is probably the result of that fumble.
So a loss of 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 13. The Trojans break the huddle in a tight formation. Bartholomew's taking the snaps, hands the ball off to the running back. And with that, the final seconds of the 3rd quarter of play are going to tick off the clock here at the Fine Arts and Athletic Complex in Birdville ISD as the Trojans continue to lead the Buffaloes 49-10.
Trinity Trojans 49 and the Haltom Buffaloes 10. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, your attention please.
As the coaches go prepare for this next week against Pascal, there have been just enough mistakes that they can get the attention of their team. There's some things that still need to be corrected. They've yet to play the perfect game. Pascal coming up quickly, so they're going to have one less long practice day. So they're going to have to really kind of stay with the game plan that they're using. I like the physical nature of it. The offensive line, again and again, just overpowering defenses. It may not happen early, but when you constantly get hit with 280, 320, 400-pound offensive linemen, sooner or later it just has to wear on you, and it's kind of been the way it is today. The thing that I think is different about this offensive line is the ability to get up to the 2nd level and cut off linebackers. Where Trinity in the past has done a great job getting pushed down on the front line. Linebackers coming through have kept them to 3- and 4-yard gains. This group has a really good sense of finding their way up to the 2nd level. Lamar Kirk, the offensive line coach, has done a great job with them. And you really see the movement, the push, cutting off backers, giving the backs a chance to get out in space and go.
And it's great because we've talked about this earlier when we talked defensively about the second team and how there's very little change as far as play or the level of play that we see on the turf, and it's really the same as we view our chain gain here, the second team offensively. Both sides of the ball just very solid, which is nice to see and a joy to just sit back and enjoy watching both sides play the game. So as we continue on the field of competition, we enter into the fourth quarter of play here in North Richland Hills at the Birdville ISD's Fine Arts and Athletic Complex. The Trojans continuing their third possession of play here in the second half with a 3rd and 6.
Red Hat's still on the field.
Oh, yep, he sure is still on the field. So we're still on a TV timeout.
One of the exciting things about Trinity's second offensive line is they only have one senior. And actually on the offensive line, they only have one senior. So we're talking about a group that's becoming very dominant, and they're all going to be back next year. So things look good. You've got Gary Maddox, a sophomore. You got Ollie's a junior. Laquan's a junior. So there's some good signs for the future for Trinity.
A lot of potential here. So on 3rd down, number 7, Jaquan Black takes the snap, calls his own number on the quarterback keeper around the far side, and advances the ball out to the midfield stripe before being knocked out of bounds by the Buffalo defensive backfield.
Number 22, Johnny Smith-Reiner. A gain of 17 on the play out to the 50-yard line. First down for the Trojans.
So the officials mark the football. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the midfield stripe for the Trojans, as the clock here in the fourth quarter continues to tick. Just under 11 and a half remaining in the game. The Trojans break the offensive huddle, twins to the near side, shotgun formation by Black. Calls his own number again, takes a hop and a cut. He's going to advance the ball 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 from the Buffalo 47-yard line.
There's something interesting about Jaquan being in at quarterback. You notice he's usually in the gun. Jaquan comes from Central Junior High. Central feeds both Trinity and Bell, so they don't really run either team's offense completely. They're much more gun-oriented than Euless and Harwood, who feed Trinity. So the coaches have embraced it and just leave him in the gun.
So we've got split receivers left and right. Cade Bartholomew, number 12, under center, takes the snap, hands the ball off to Maddox. He's down to the 20, the 15, the 10, and he's in for another Trojan touchdown.
The skip move that he made a little jump cut sideways, laterally in the hole, unteachable. He's just got a little bit of a running back gift. He is really, really going to be a special player for Trinity in the future. Just a great run. And again, well blocked, point of attack. He's at the second level when he has to make that jump cut. And that just says a lot about that second group offensive line. And they're still playing against the ones for Haltom.
Right. So the special teams come on and line it up. Here's the snap. Bartholomew with the hold. Hernandez's point after is up, and it's good. So with 10:44 remaining in the fourth quarter of play, the Trojans extending their lead over the Buffaloes 56-10. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. This third possession, 97 yards on 9 plays.
Overcame a penalty in there too. Remember, we had a hold early in the series that backed us up to maybe even the 2. So threw out of the end zone, completed a big pass. Trinity's offense, they're calling an aggressive game. The kids are executing it well. There's a lot of confidence in what they're doing. They walk on the field with the idea that they're going to have success. And that is going to be so positive as we move forward towards the playoffs.
That possession in just under 3.5 minutes.
Explosive plays.
Yes.
Trinity is not a 3-yard in a cloud of dust offense. They may run plays that look like that's what they're supposed to be, but they've got some skilled athletes and a great job of blocking up on the front. That they are an explosive offense. They get a lot of explosive plays, and it's been very consistent all year long.
So our gentleman from Channel 33, as we've noted all game long, our red hat exits the sideline And we return to action here at the complex as both special teams take the field. Trinity teeing up the football from their own 40. Their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner.
As we wait for Kelson to kick, the one thing that I hear from the coaches that you cannot stress enough is these kids like each other. This is a tight-knit team. They enjoy playing together. They enjoy being together as a team. That's almost worth a touchdown.
So Cotner's kick is going to go long and deep into the Buffalo end zone out of the back, where the Buffaloes will take over their third possession of play here in the second half. When we return, it'll be 1st and 10 Buffaloes from their own 25-yard line.
Remember last week, we weren't perfectly clean when the seconds came in. We got some silly penalties. Let's see how that's been addressed and how that's been corrected. We got basically the entire second defense in, I think, right now.
So 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes from their own 25. They take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. It's going to be a gain of about approximately 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Buffaloes from their own 28-yard line.
The running back right now, I think the quarterback is 6'3". So if you're looking at the running back next to him, 5'4", maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
A foot, definitely a foot. I mean, he's below his shoulder pad line.
Yes, he is.
So the Buffaloes break the huddle. Twins near side, single split receiver to the far side, and they hand it off to the running back. It looks like number 3 there, Jay.
Yep.
Number 3. And he'll pick up a couple on the play.
That's Keenan Rayleigh. He's had several carries in the second half. They've kind of gone away from their feature back, giving Rayleigh a lot more touches right now. But gee whiz, he's teeny tiny.
So 3rd and 4 for the Buffaloes from their own 31-yard line. They break the huddle. Twins to the near side again. They take the snap. He rose to the near side, looks down the field, then he decides to tuck and run, and he's brought down by the Trojan defense.
That's a huge play because there was nothing to the backside. He was going to have a chance to run for a long time. That was Esau Ahovelo that made that play. Nice job.
So with that big tackle by the Trojans, that's going to bring in the Buffaloes punt team.
No official gain on the play. Ball stays at the 31-yard line. That brings up 4th down.
So it's a 4th and 4 for the Buffaloes from their own 31. Punt team is in.
Number 15, Ofele Ashland.
Here's the snap. And the Buffaloes punt is away. That punt's going to be fielded by the Trojans and down at their own 27-yard line, where the Trojans will take over their 4th possession of play here in the second half.
42 yards on the kick. 1st and 10 for Trinity.
So 8:52 remaining on the clock here in the 4th quarter of play.
Make your way to the exits quickly. We need to clean the stadium for the second game, which starts at 5 p.m. It would really help us a great deal if we could head for the exits.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 28-yard line. They break the offensive huddle, I formation, split receiver to the near side. Cade Bartholomew, number 12, quarterbacking, taking the snaps and hands it off to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4 on the play, advancing the ball out to the Trojan 32-yard line.
That's Deontay Hicks on the carry, senior running back. They're able to get in some extra guys, some of those guys that don't get as many snaps.
Close to 5 on the play. Moves the ball out to the 32-yard line.
Here's the versatility of Jaquan Black. He's out here at the X receiver this time.
Bartholomew under center, I formation, takes the snap, hands it off to number 22. Gain of 4 more on the play by the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 Trojans from their own 36-yard line.
Ellis on the stop.
Looks like now they've moved Jaquan back in at quarterback.
Call it a gain of 4 on the play.
Probably going to run their power read play. That's typical when he's in. So expect him to go off tackle on this play. Run the back across his feet. Jaquan turn up off the tackle. Oh, ran the counter with him. Just as effective. Jaquan's out in the space. Good job.
So the Trojans take the snap and advance the ball across the midfield stripe and into Buffalo territory, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down. So the officials mark the football. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Buffalo 46-yard line. 7.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play, with the Trojans leading the Buffaloes 56-10.
Cade back in at the quarterback.
Bartholomew takes a snap, hands the ball off once again to the running back, and he's hit by the defensive backfield, finally brought down near the 44-yard line.
Hicks on the carry.
Gain of about 3 on the play for the Trojans.
Stop for the Buffaloes. A gain of 3 to the 43-yard line.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from the Buffalo 43.
Again, trying to slow everything down. Not in a hurry. This one's well in hand. Ball security is the big deal on this one.
Twins to the far side. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to number 22. He bounces outside and then cuts back in. He's advances the ball across the 40. Going to be a gain of 5 on the play for the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 from the Buffaloes 38-yard line.
Trinity ran their counter that time. They missed the kick-out block. First puller missed the kick-out. It kind of shrunk the hole a little bit, or Deontay might have had a big place to run through.
3rd and 2 Trojans from the Buffalo 38. They break the huddle, I formation, split receivers each way. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap. He hands it off to his fullback. The rock winds up on the turf, but it's recovered by the Trojans.
That was just kind of a mess. They got in a little bit of a hurry.
Number 27, Seth Miller.
No gain on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for the Trojans. Again, from the Buffalo 38-yard line.
Damon, when's the last time Trinity punted? It hadn't been today.
It wasn't last week either, I don't believe, was it, Jay?
Was it against North Crowley?
I think it may have been against North Crowley. The Trojans, again, I formation, take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back, and I believe he's going to be stopped short of the first down marker. And so the ball will go over on downs to the Buffaloes.
Tejada on the tackle. Stopped short of the first down. The ball goes over on downs to the Buffaloes.
So this will bring up the Buffaloes' 4th possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10 Buffaloes from their own 37-yard line.
Remember at the half, they were 4 possessions behind. We said that's going to be difficult just on possessions alone. And here with 5:17 left, this is the 4th time they're getting the ball. So even without Trinity's success, it would have been a really difficult opportunity to catch back up.
So the Buffaloes, twins to the far side, take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9 from the Buffalo 38.
You just have to love the depth of Trinity's defense.
Yes. During this play, let me take an opportunity to do some senior spotlights. Let's begin with our 4th quarter offensive senior spotlight. This is going to be sponsored by our men's and women's basketball teams under the leadership of coaches Mark Valines and Brent Gillum for the men, and coaches Doug Spoyer and Jeannie McKinney for the ladies. This offensive spotlight features D'Angelo Simmons, number 43, a 5'8", 190-pound running back. When talking with D'Angelo, he desires to attend Caltech to major in aerospace or mechanical engineering, and when he returns to the DFW area, hopes to pursue a career with that engineering degree in the aviation field. So on behalf of the men and women's basketball team, best of luck in a successful season that remains for D'Angelo Simmons and his upcoming future. As we return to action, no gain on the play for the Buffaloes. This is going to bring up a 3rd and 8 from their own 39-yard line. They take the snap, hand the ball off to the back. He makes a cut. He's across the midfield stripe, deeper into Trojan territory. Finally brought down just beyond the Trojan 40-yard line.
Is that their 2nd first down of the second half?
4th.
4th first down of the second half.
Yes.
I think we helped them with 1. Wow, defense is just having a great game.
Yes. So it's 1st and 10 Buffaloes from the Trojan 39-yard line. They break the huddle. Twins to the near side. Split receiver to the top. Taking the snap, handing the ball off to his running back, and again met at the defensive line of scrimmage. No gain on the play by the Buffaloes. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the Trojan 39.
Tackle made by the Trojans, number 59, Jamarian Dempsey. No official gain on the
Clock
play.
continues to tick. We're down to almost 3 minutes of play here in the game at the Birdville ISD Fine Arts and Athletic Complex. The Buffaloes, 2nd and 10 from the Trojan 39. Here's the snap. Quarterback faking the pass, handing the ball off to his running back. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 35-yard line.
A gain of 4 down to close to
2.5 minutes remaining. Let's do our other 4th quarter senior spotlight. This 4th quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our soccer teams, head coaches Tracy Duran and Carlos Quintanilla, and assistant coaches Patty Callahan, Trent Abbott, and David Capps. This defensive spotlight features Tonga Lolahea, number 47. He's a 6'4" senior, 258-pound defensive lineman. When asked, Tonga desires to attend the University of Alabama, and he has an undecided major in his future at this time. So best of luck in the remainder of this football season to Tonga Lolahea, and the best of success with his upcoming college career at the University of Alabama. So as we return to action, 4th and 3 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 32-yard line. Again, twins to the far side, single split to the near side, shotgun formation, 2-back set for the Buffaloes. Whistles prior to the snap, indication by our officiating crew, timeout being charged to the Buffalo offense. And this will also be a Channel 33 TV timeout. So just want to remind all of our football fans that next week's game on Wednesday for our JV teams, Wednesday, December 2nd, the Trojan football JV teams will travel to Fort Worth to Paschal High School, where they will kick off against the Panthers of Paschal. Game time 5:30 and 7 p.m. So make sure that you mark your calendar and set your alarms. That will be the final regular season JV game for the 2021 football season. So as we prepare to resume action here in North Richland Hills, both teams return to the field of competition. Again, this is going to be a 4th and 3 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 32-yard line. 1:28 remaining on the clock. Here's the snap by the Buffaloes. The quarterback drops back, looks to the far side, and that pass falls incomplete. And so the possession of the football will go over on downs to the Trojans. So this will bring up the Trojans' 5th possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 32-yard line. .22 remaining on the clock. The Trojans, twins to the far side, I formation. Cade Bartholomew under center, taking the snap, hands the ball off to his running back. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Trojans from their own 36-yard line. Trojans break the offensive huddle, twins the far side, I formation. Bartholomew takes a snap, hands the ball off to his fullback, and the rock winds up on the turf. It's recovered by the Buffaloes.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the Buffaloes, number 28, Jesse McGee.
So the ball will go over to the Buffaloes. And that was a nice looking run there for a moment too, Jay.
Really was. Just a little bit, trying to lead with his arms. Kind of hard to do that when the ball's in your arms. Good hard run too. Ran the ball well. They're trying to get him a touch. They could have taken a knee and run out the clock, but they're trying to get some of these guys that work so hard a touch.
So the Buffaloes take over their 5th possession of play here in the second half. Quarterback taking the snap, hands it off to the running back. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Buffaloes from the Trojan 39-yard line.
See if Haltom's satisfied with running out the clock here. Looks like one more play.
So this could very well be the final play of the game here. The Buffaloes, shotgun formation, twins to the near side, take the snap. They hand the ball off to the running back. He advances it across the Trojan 35, down near the 30, and sure enough, that will be the final tick of the clock and the final play of the game here in North Richland Hills at Birdville ISD's Fine Arts and Athletic Complex, where the Trojans dominate in a district showdown over the Haltom Buffaloes, winning the game 56-10. We invite all of our listeners to hang on for just a few minutes. We'll see if we can come back with some final stats and give you additional information regarding the final regular season game for the 2021 football season. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. So if you're still with us, we welcome you back to Birdville Independent School District, where the Trojans have taken their position adjacent to their sideline and performed their ceremonial sippy towel. And both teams and fans have been encouraged to exit the complex as quickly as possible for an additional game that will continue here at the stadium at 5 o'clock. So before I wrap up, I want to turn it over to Mr. Jay Fitch, and Jay has got a few things he wants to share with us in regarding stats and other information.
Just real quickly, looking at the stats, Trinity had a really nice game today with 698 yards to Haltom's 239. Trinity rushed for 619 yards today.
619.
That's incredible. That was led by Ollie Gordon, who had 18 carries for 229 yards. Tino Foney had 8 carries for 134 yards, all in the first half. Gary Maddox came in and ran 7 times for 103 yards, and Jaquan Black from the quarterback spot ran 7 times for 87 yards. I don't remember a Trinity team having that kind of success running the football in quite some time. Overall yardage, Trinity gave up 239 yards, only 152 on the ground. The only place that I see that we're going to have to really make sure we focus on is we had 8 penalties for 85 yards, plus about 3 offsetting penalties where we had the big 15-yarders that we can't always count on them throwing on both sides.
That's correct.
But overall, this was an outstanding team effort. It's 2 weeks in a row that we could say Trinity made a complete game. Everybody, offense, defense, special teams, everybody played exceptionally well.
Yes.
Things bode well as we move into that Paschal game.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So we just want to remind all of our listeners and viewers that our next broadcast, we encourage you and invite you to join us next week. This will be on a Thursday night, December 3rd, as we return to the Trojans' home field, Pennington Field in the HEB School District, for a 7 o'clock kickoff versus the Panthers of Paschal. So on behalf of Mr. Jay Fitch and all of our Sports Network crew, I want to thank you for joining us and listening in this evening and this afternoon to this exciting district showdown featuring the Trinity Trojans. Until next week's event, when we return to Bedford, Texas, for another district showdown at Pennington Field in the HEB School District against the Panthers of Paschal High, game time will feature a 7 p.m. kickoff. This has been DR Big Daddy Emery saying, tease up and go Trojans!